As long as my hair is okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, good morning. I'm going to need a little bit more energy. I'm going to require a little bit more than Sherry. But, guys, good morning. Clap it up for yourselves. You just had a great 2018. Like Stan said, you're getting ready to kick 2019 in the ass. So let's clap it up for yourselves, guys. Pick up the pace a little bit. You got mimosas flowing. You're having breakfast. Who's better than you right now? Tell you a little bit about myself, guys. Introduce myself. I'm here to kind of motivate you, but motivation is a very broad topic. So I've narrowed it down to 3 things that I went over with Sherry that I think hopefully you'll be able. Sure. Sorry about that. I said I spoke with Sherry about a couple of different topics that we would go over today. There's motivation is very broad. We could go over a lot of different things that are motivational, but there's 3 in particular that we'll talk about today. To begin, I'll introduce myself, tell you a little bit about who I am, what I've done, what I've been successful in that Mikey kind of mentioned before. I've had my challenges and struggles just like everybody else, but the difference is how we bounce back from those in life. I'm a true believer in that. So early career, I went to college for hospitality tourism management. I have a passion for cooking and entertaining guests. I always have. Did that, figured I wanted to get into the real world. I left college a little bit earlier than finishing. I got into the real world and really got my real world experience. I got into the mortgage industry, ironically, way back in the early 2000s. Went to work for a company where I was working on a draw, and I had to really just kind of flip through the yellow pages. It's not like today. We didn't have leads. We didn't have things that were sent to us via email, and it was really just flipping through the yellow pages, cold calling realtors, calling people, trying to figure out your way and trying to make money any way you could. Long story short there, I put myself into about $25,000 in debt at a very young age because I was taking a draw, not closing one deal. I was driving an hour and a half from my home to try to do this, but that did not work out. I left the mortgage industry. I went to a second company at that time, and fortunately I found success there. I was able to work my way up the ladder. There I had a little bit of a different lead structure, so I was able to kind of maximize that lead structure, work my way up to a top producer in the company, and then eventually I was the office manager at that office. An opportunity presented itself for what was always my passion, which was the restaurant industry, and I took the opportunity. I left. I took a leap of faith. I left the 6-figure job where I was doing very, very well and very comfortable, and I went into business for myself. I opened the Italian restaurant. I had it for 5 years. Thankfully, knock on wood, it was very successful to us, very good to us, and it was a success, but the neighborhood changed, demographics changed, and it just no longer was that kind of neighborhood for an Italian restaurant. So we ended up selling the restaurant, and it put me back into where I am today. Today I'm back in finance. I work for a company that we lend money to healthcare professionals. We work with accountants and attorneys as well. So as long as you're a licensed accountant, attorney, medical professional, we can lend funds to you. So I'm very familiar with finance, the structuring of a transaction, and all of the documentation required to be able to be approved for a financial transaction. I've gotten into motivational speaking because I've been exposed to a lot of speakers. I'm very fortunate to have learned and listened to Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Grant Cardone, Jack Giacontelli, Damon John, one of the original Sharks, Kevin Harrington. So I've taken a lot of these experiences and a lot of what I've learned with them, and I've kind of packaged it and said, I want to go out and help others. I want to tap into the potential that people have and make them realize there's a lot more to life than just going through the motions, paying our bills, existing, and passing away. There's a lot more to it. So with that, guys, it kind of leads me into what I want to speak about today. My 3 topics that I like to focus on. The first one is going to be your why, your purpose, your reason, why it is you do what you do every single day, why you're here, why you're trying to be the top producer in the office, why you're trying to kick ass in 2019 for you and your family. The second one I want to talk about is going to be time management, something that my mentor calls non-refundable minutes. It's a term that he's coined and I really appreciate because it is true. Every moment that you either spend or waste is non-refundable. You will never get that moment back, and we lack to kind of put value on those moments, and before we know it, it's the end of the year, and we're kind of back to resolutions and in the hamster wheel for all intents and purposes all over again. The last thing I wanted to speak about is just tapping into your true potential and unleashing the greatness that we're all deserving of. Because each and every one of us has God-given talents. We have God-given abilities. Some of us decide to tap into them a little bit more than others, and I truly believe that's what separates the greats from the average in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. You might be just happy where you are, and that's all well and good, but my job today is to be able to help you tap into that potential and unleash that greatness because you do deserve it. Going into the why. Your why, by definition, is for what reason or purpose. So if you really sit down and think about it, and you take some time to put some thought into it, your why is really a driving force. Your why is a purpose or a reason. It's your purpose for existence. It's your reason for what you do every single day. So when you get up, you have choices in life. Every single one of us has the choice to wake up early and start chasing goals, or to snooze and be running late and deal with traffic and get in and get our day started on the wrong foot. Those are all choices we have every single day. I truly believe that once you find your why in life and you hone in on what that why is, you use it as a driving force. You put that in the forefront of all of your decision making, and essentially that why becomes almost like an existence that rides shotgun in all of those decisions. So when you start going through life and you have those difficult situations or challenges or struggles, when you don't want to get up out of bed because it's, you know, a really cold Florida day at 50 degrees and you'd rather be snuggled up in bed with your significant other. I get it. We're humans. We've all been there. But at the end of the day, if you make the right decision, you're going to start separating yourself from the pack. You got to use that why to catapult you and get out of the bed when even you don't want to, because you have that why riding shotgun, and you have that someone or something that's driving you to make the decision outside of just yourself. For some people, the why is children. I have a 9-month-old at home. It renewed my purpose in life. The second that I saw her eyes, it was a feeling that I can't describe. I can't put it into words. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have children could relate to that. For others, you may not have children. Maybe it's just for your spouse. Maybe you don't want your spouse to work anymore. Maybe you want to retire at a young age. Maybe you have a charity that's close and near and dear to your heart, and you want to be able to contribute to that, and you need the finances to do so. Whatever your deal is, whatever your why is, it's up to you to find that, tap into it, and let that ride shotgun in all of your decisions that you make throughout 2019, and watch the difference you're going to make at the end of the year. A why holds you accountable. Accountability is a big one for me. Many years ago, I wasn't in a position where I really held myself accountable for my actions. A lot of times we're quick to make excuses. We're quick to feel bad for ourselves. We're quick to say, oh, I had a rough day. Oh, I had 3 listings and not one person seems interested. Whatever it is, we feed ourselves a tremendous amount of excuses, and it's very easy to fall victim to excuses. We're humans. By nature, we do so. But if you have that why, if you have that bigger purpose, you're not going to be so quick to accept those excuses, because at the end of the day, that someone or that something that's riding shotgun with you, which is your why, is dependent upon the decisions that you're making. It makes you realize that you have to, for a second, come out of yourself and make a decision for a greater purpose. A why turns challenges, hard work, adversity into growth and success. Guys, look, we're all going to be challenged. We're all going to have adversity. We're all going to have tough times. Real estate is not an easy business. You guys are out there grinding. You're hitting, foot to pavement every single day, trying to find prospects, trying to find listings, I understand the nature of the business. If you have that why, if you have that drive, something that stood out to me from the morning meeting, they missed the goal by 4 or 6? 6. Yeah. 6. I'm not even on the team, and I was like, God damn, 6. That irked me. That bothered me, because you guys were that close. And the difference is the why. The difference is the Saturday listing at 5 o'clock when you'd rather be with your family at dinner that you gave up. That's the difference in the 6. If each one of us could really be held accountable for our actions and say, hey man, I've got more in me. I've got to realize that there's a bigger goal than me. The bigger goal was the office goal. It wasn't just about you and the 5 o'clock listing. And the sooner we realize that our why is bigger than just ourselves, and we start letting that why ride shotgun in those decisions, the 6 is going to be a joke. You'll blow that out of the water by 10:15 with your eyes closed, no problem. And you're here clapping about number 1, not number 2. I want to see Sherry on stage too. So use that why to separate yourselves, guys. The why is really going to push you towards your greatness. When you start finding that why and you really allow that to drive your decisions, it's ultimately going to have you walking with purpose. You're no longer just going to be going through the motions. And I hate to say it, but you see people in life that they're just kind of schlepping around, kind of going about where the day pushes them, and there's really no direction. They don't walk with a purpose. They don't have any drive, any reason. They're just going about their day. When you find out why, it really gives you that purpose. It gives you that drive. It gives you a reason to walk with purpose. And that purpose brings results. And those results are going to give you life dividends. And those life dividends are going to come in all shapes and forms. It might be financial gains. It might be health gains. It might be relational gains. It might be better relationships with your family. I don't know what it looks like to you, but I know that there's a why and a purpose that's bigger and greater than each and every single one of us. And if we can tap into that and let it ride shotgun on all of our decisions, I guarantee you a better 2019 than a 2018. As far as time management, the non-refundable minutes, I touched on that for a second. It's non-refundable minutes. It's crazy. I'm driving here. I was speaking with Sherry yesterday about it. It's January 15th, guys. January 15th. I overheard a lot of you guys wishing each other Happy New Year today. I assume you haven't seen each other from the New Year. Half of the year, half of the month is gone. That's it. You're less than 30 days away from your Valentine's Day plans. You'll blink an eye. You're picking out Halloween costumes. And next thing you know, there's Christmas lights in the supermarket again. So believe me, it happens that quick, guys. We really have to take advantage of every non-refundable minute that's given to us and really appreciate the time. Make sure you're getting a value exchange. I kind of did some research on the Ninja sales, and I saw that they talk about adding value to your customer. Stop selling, start adding value. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Any time that you're going to be spending, make sure it's time spent, not time wasted. There's a big difference. I'll give you a simple example. You go out to dinner with a big group of friends. You know you're in for a big check. You're going to go out and have a good time. You spend the money, have a great experience, drink great grapes, have great drinks, great company. You go home and say, man, what an amazing experience. Not once do you talk about the price of the check because you had so much fun, you had a great experience. Flip side of it, you go out with your friends, you have a terrible experience, the meal comes out wrong, everything is bad, everybody's complaining, you can't get a conversation going because you're too caught up complaining about the waiter the whole time, and you go home and you say, man, all of that, and the bill was how much? That's time wasted. That was a meal wasted. That was time wasted. It wasn't time spent. It wasn't a meal spent. Having a good time with good people. Time is the same thing. Can we all agree that every day you're either spending your minutes or you're wasting your minutes? Either you're spending them on something productive where you're actually doing something, or you're wasting them doing nothing. It's a fact of life. All of us have the same 24 hours in a day. What sets apart the top producers in the office from those that are not? They're choosing to use their 24 hours differently. That's all it is. They don't have any special capabilities. Their computers don't click buttons quicker than yours. There's nothing special about what they're doing besides the fact that they're maximizing their potential. They're valuing their non-refundable minutes. They're adding value to their customers' lives, and they're making sure that every moment spent, not wasted, is with a value exchange return. Maximize your non-refundable minutes rather than wasting them. Guys, I'm not telling you don't go home, don't watch TV. I'm not saying act like a machine and don't spend time with your wife and your kids and your spouses. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is be cautious of the material that you're choosing. Be cautious of what you're watching. Be cautious of what you're putting in your head. Another thing, I picked up the video, flipping houses. I get it. It's not like we see on TV. But if you're going to spend time on TV, why not watch something that's going to be educational? Why not put on something like the news, whatever news outlet of your choice, and see what's going on in the market? Educate yourself on what's going on with 401ks. So when you're speaking to your clients, you know more than just your transaction. You understand their financial picture. You know where they are financially. You understand how you can guide them through this transaction a little bit better. Waking up early. I'm a big believer in it. I was never a morning person ever. Mikey now thinks I'm crazy because I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. It's just my time. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm up at 5 o'clock because it gives me 2 hours before my daughter's up. I'm able to get done all of the chores that I say I never have the time to do. I make a list of the things that I want to accomplish, and I set them on my bedside. I put my why above it, and I remember when I wake up in the morning before I hit that snooze button that it's not just about me anymore. If I'm hitting the snooze, I'm not just letting me down anymore. I'm letting that something or someone, which is my why, down as well. So keep that in mind. Try to apply that, guys. I'm not saying go from 7:30 in the morning to 5 o'clock. You're going to be shot. You'll be walking around like a zombie. But I'm saying try to kind of almost sleep train yourself to work backwards. If 7 o'clock's your time now, try 6:45. Push that back to 6:30. Come back to 6:15. Before the end of the year, you might say, I love waking up at 5 o'clock, and you never knew it. With that being said, I highly recommend the book that helped me with that. It's called The Miracle Morning. If anybody wants to write that down, it's by Hal Elrod. Miracle Morning, real simple read. It's a quick read, and I've taken tremendous value and applied it to my life from it. The other topic I wanted to go over is unleashing your greatness, guys. Thinking about it and just being blunt, it's 2019, guys. Like Stan said, I love Stan's energy earlier this morning. You guys are here to kick 2019's ass. You're not here to just mope around, do a couple closings a month, and just go on with your life. This isn't a side gig, guys. This could be something that'll put you into financial freedom. This is something that could put you into retirement. This is something that could be life-changing. And from what I've seen this morning, the Keyes Group is prepared to give you every tool and asset to be the most successful you can. So if you're not taking advantage of it, if you're not leveraging the opportunities they're giving, if you're not leveraging the strategical partners, you're really just fooling yourself. This is a number that I wanted to throw out there, and I'm just curious to see if anybody knows it. $64,000. Does that ring a bell for anybody at all? $64,000. That is the, there you go. Who said it? What was it?
Median household income.
Very good. That is the South Florida median average household income combined. Combined, guys. So I'm not here to just preach that money is everything. But the last time I checked, to have a good time, to be able to go out with your family, to have dinner, to do all of these things, you have to have it. $64,000, guys. That's the average household median income. Think about the word average. Do you guys want to be average? Does that sound fun to you? I don't think so. Normal or average is a failing formula. I learned that from Grant Cardone. He's got it printed all over his t-shirts. He printed it on the side of his card. Average is a failing formula. It's the truth, guys. Let's stop being average. In 2019, start tapping into your true potential. You guys know when you're on point. You guys know you've had those days, those weeks, those months where you're dominating. Nobody's better than you. A client can't say no to you. Everybody's buying. Everybody's listing. And you feel great. You walk in here, hey guys, I got 4 for the month, right? My man's got 4 in the back. Okay, how's that feel?
Excellent.
It's a good feeling when you come in the morning, right? Chest is out a little bit more, huh?
Every 3 times already.
Okay, there you go. Tell her a 4th, tell her a 5th. But guys, I'm being honest. Start tapping into your potential. Why aren't you having 4 a month? Why aren't you having 6 a month? Why aren't you Stan's team that's doing 4 million this month? There's no reason, guys. It's a decision that you are or aren't making. So you have to remember that. Tap into the potential, guys. We all have God-given talents. Every client is going to like you for a different reason. And like the Ninja Selling says, you have to give them value. They have to buy from you. Realtors are a dime a dozen. I hate to say that, no discredit to the market at all. But there's a million realtors. What separates you from the next one? Anybody can show a house. They're buying from you because they like you. It's what you bring to the table. It's the value you bring to their life. It's because they feel comfortable with you. They like you. So keep that in mind, guys. Start tapping into your true potential. We all have greatness within us. That's one of Les Brown's things. LeBron James, who's by far one of the best athletes in the world, his hashtag is strive for greatness. The man has hit greatness on so many levels, and yet he still strives for it daily. He wakes up and competes harder than every single one of his competitors daily. And he doesn't have to, guys. He made it. He's the self-proclaimed king. He's got clothing brands. He's got schools. He's got, you name it. But I guarantee you he wakes up earlier than every single one of us and works harder every single day than one of us. You think he's feeding himself excuses? Absolutely not. Because his why is bigger than those excuses and bigger than the decision that he makes for himself. He's making that decision for his children, for his foundations, for everything that he's created for himself. So tap into that potential, guys. Realize that you all have greatness inside of you, and really be honest with yourself whether or not you're giving it 100% all of the time. You know you've had the opportunities. You know you've had the chances to be that top producer. You've done it here and there. You've done it sporadically, but now it's time to really be the best you can be in 2019, guys. Keyes needs you to step up. The number you guys have in front of you that I just heard that's rolling over 15% from last month, that's a big number, guys. It's a challenge, but you're midway through the month, and from what I heard, dollar-wise, volume-wise, you're halfway there. So bring it home. You got 15 more days. You did it already. You're halfway there. Let's bring it home for the company. Bring it home for yourselves. Bring it home for your whys. Guys, one thing that I also am going to leave with you is I think it's important that you find your strengths and you perfect them. You find your weaknesses and you make those your strengths. We all have strengths. We know what those strengths are. We shy away from our weaknesses because they're not comfortable. We know we're not good at certain things, so we just shy away with them. And what happens is you end up becoming worse at those things. I highly recommend self-growth, self-encouragement. I highly recommend books instead of TV. If you see that you have the free time and you're going to sit on the couch, it's fine. Sit on the couch, relax, find a different way of relaxation. Make it be self-growth. Make it be something that there's a value-add exchange. Like I said, make sure you're spending those moments wisely and you're not wasting them on something you're not getting any value from. A couple of final thoughts that I want to leave with you guys. Something that's changed my life, that's kind of put me down this path of motivational speaking and wanted to help others, is a positive mental attitude. It's something that was instilled in me over 12 years ago, and it really has transcended my life in ways that I can't even put into words for you guys. A positive mental attitude just goes more than the 3 words. It's a positive mental attitude in anything in life. It means making the difficult decisions when you realize that unfortunately you have some negative people. You're going to have doubters. You're going to have naysayers. You're going to have people that are going to knock everything that you're doing because they think you're crazy and your goals are too lofty. That's fine. Those aren't the people you want on your side in 2019, guys. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to make some tough cuts. I've had to do them in my life, but they are going to propel you to that next level. You can't move on with people holding you back. And unfortunately, sometimes it's those that are closest to us that might be smiling in your face and talking behind your back. So be cautious of the people that you trust. Be cautious of the people that you're instilling your energy into. Make sure there's a value-add exchange. If every time you have a conversation about your self-betterment and what you're doing to get better in 2019, and they want to tell you why it doesn't work, question the relationship. Guys, prepare to have that adversity. Prepare to have pushback. Don't worry yourself with others' opinions. Start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Realize that everything in life where you start feeling that little bit of uncomfortableness, or maybe you get the little bit of chills, you get that little bit of sweat down your back, something is, it doesn't seem right. It's not the ordinary. It's not what you're used to. Start getting comfortable with those situations. There's a lot of good that comes from that. And if anything, you're already going through it, take something good from it. Don't just go through it, grow through it. Learn from it. Take a lesson from it, whether it be good, whether it be bad. Success is always going to leave clues in life, guys. So truly tap into your full potential. Write down your goals on a daily basis. Make sure you're putting pen to paper, guys. I know I've met a lot of people that tell me, oh, I've got goals, and my goals are up here. My goals are up here. And that's great. That might work for you, but there's a proven science that when you put pen to paper, it holds you more accountable. When you see it every day visibly and it's in front of you, you can't deny it. If it's in your thoughts, you might have 15 other things running through your day. I mean, guys, let's face it. We wake up and we plan to do a certain thing. Our day doesn't always go as planned. Life is going to happen to us. Just make sure it's happening because of you, not to you. So take control of your life. Take control of the situations that you can. Start really honing in on that potential. Start tapping into your greatness, whatever that greatness might be, and unleash it on the world because you deserve it to yourself. Your family deserves it. And if you don't do it, frankly, you're being selfish. You were here for a bigger reason. You're not here to just pay bills, exist, and die, guys. That's not what we're here to do. Each and every single one of you is deserving of a better life, of a bigger life, whatever that looks like to you. Again, it's not just financial gains. Whatever that means to you, we're all deserving of it. Guys, understand lastly that anything that is worth having is going to take effort. You know, one of my favorite sayings, if you're willing to do what's easy, life is hard. If you're willing to do what's hard, life is going to be easy. Take that into 2019, guys. Remind yourself of it. Put it on a post-it on your desk. Read it in the mornings. Remind yourself that if you're willing to do what is hard, your life is going to be easy. But if you're willing to do what's easy now, you're going to have to deal with the hard later. So choose when you're going to deal with it, but I'd recommend dealing with it up front so you can enjoy your life after the fact. Guys, 2019 is going to bring you a lot of struggles. It's going to bring you a lot of challenges, but I think you're well prepared. I think you've got the tools. I think you've got the leadership. I think you have the team around you. I think you have the mentors. I think you have people that are really doing it and putting up the volume that all of you guys want to put up. So stop sitting on the sidelines. Stop letting life happen to you. Stop sitting there and waiting for it to come to you. Stan said it earlier. Don't sit there and wait, guys. Go out and get it. It's yours for the taking. In 2019, make sure you dominate. Make 2018 pale in comparison to what you do in 2019. And God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed that. So I love that.